So just as planned, at 2 p.m. on the dot, we're leaving on our grand road trip, which is exactly what we aimed for. Well, good morning and welcome to Lucore Automotive on this very first episode of our 2,500 mile, $2,500 car road trip. So far, things are not going exactly according to plan. The idea is we're going to leave at 9 a.m. sharp. It's currently 10 a.m. As you can tell, I'm still at the shop. I did get all my stickers on the car, got my tires changed, got my oil changed, did a just general inspection, so I'm probably not going to die on this trip, but no promises. However, my two compatriots that are going with me on this trip, one ran into a massive amount of traffic and apparently some sort of sealant on his car is keeping stickers from sticking, so he had a sticker issue. And two, well, hang on, let me show you.
Mine broke already.
As you can see, we have had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Apparently on the drive home last night, Joe ran into some braking issues, being his brakes broke. So step 1/2 maybe to road trip is gonna be fix the brakes on the big old Denali.
It blew the brake line going to the rear. Probably in not a convenient spot either.
Probably not.
So, I guess we won't know until we get it up in the air.
So, quick little repair job. This is fun right now.
This is so great.
At least we're all in the same place together. Finally, now.
And I'd like to just preempt all of this by saying I'm at 120 miles on my car and it's only running better.
Good. There you go. So we have successfully at least achieved getting them together. All of the stickers are on the car, thanks to Pat's Print Shop. We've got stickers on the cars. We are ready to go road rallying. Unfortunately, the Denali blew a main feed rear brake line, so we are currently getting that replaced, and then maybe we can go road tripping.
The Denali was kind of the truck we thought was going to be the tow vehicle.
Yeah.
And the only car that we were worried would not be able to be taken somewhere.
Yeah. It's an auspicious start.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Oh well. 9 a.m.
We shall see. We shall see.
Brakes are working perfectly fine in the Denali, and there's nothing to report in the Volvo. I've got all of my supplies in the back that I should possibly need. One problem we're running into at the moment is we're not moving. So as if we weren't far enough behind on our time scale, we can't even get to the interstate because on a 2-lane country road in Plain City, Ohio, we're dead stopped. Awesome. Well, we are 29 miles into our 2,500 mile road trip challenge, and we have had some challenges so far. We ran into construction, we ran into an accident that has 70 West essentially completely shut down for 20 miles. So we've rerouted ourselves through the middle of nowhere. The neat thing is we're doing old school road tripping, before interstate style. We are on 40 West, and we'll eventually get back on 70 once the traffic is not a problem. But yeah, for right now, we're just gonna keep on going on Highway 40 West. Yeah, whatever. Not as fast as that interstate, but we're way behind schedule anyway. Might as well enjoy the drive.
have successfully crossed into Indiana. No big deal there. Oddly enough, as we get out of Ohio, there's no more road construction. Haha, go figure. Let's see, we are not having any complications so far. Everybody seems to be running fine. I'm nursing my air conditioning a little bit just to be on the safe side. Last thing I want to do is to stress out my air conditioning and have any issues. It's 83 degrees, so nothing totally crazy. Just put the windows down when I'm not filming, and yeah. So I've got Joe back there behind me in the Denali, and I've got Tim and Ethan up ahead of me in the SL Mercedes, and yeah, everything's going well. So right now it is, we are exactly 1 hour away from Indianapolis, and it is nigh on 4 o'clock. So we are going to try to hustle a little bit extra here to get to and through Indy before rush hour traffic hits us. With all of the complications and slowdowns so far we've had today, I don't think any of us is in the mood to sit in 1 hour rush hour traffic in Indianapolis. So we're going to try to hustle on up that way and make the east part of Indiana a bit of a blur.
So driving $2,500 cars, 2,500 miles. So far, we're about 320 miles in, and I can highly recommend this procedure. Let's say find a car that you feel real good about, check it out beforehand, and then get on the road. This is fantastic. In the SL, you can find another SL. If there's any other SL in the country you can get for $2,500, you should buy it. It's ridiculous. I think mechanically this one might even be better than my white car. It's just such a nice car, and everything works, and it's kind of quick. I mean, for a car from this era, and it's Vice era greatness. Love it.
Well, taking a little detour through a scenic area of northern Indianapolis, trying to avoid as much traffic as possible. So we're trying to jump on over to 74 north towards Peoria because we want to stay away from Chicago. Because Chicago? Not anything wrong with Chicago, but your traffic, no, thank you. So yeah, we're doing like 2 miles an hour for about 2 miles. Hopefully that speeds up. And then we're on 74 north towards Peoria. Team convertible Mercedes back there has dropped the top finally. Apparently enjoying some sunshine on the scalp is part of this process, so that's awesome. Nothing to report. Nobody's had any problems. Our walkie-talkies seem to be running low on batteries, so we're going to swap out batteries once we stop here in a little bit north of Indy for some lunch at dinner time. But our timetables are going to be completely screwed up on this, so whatever. Interestingly, back in Indianapolis in the Volvo. That's where this car, I just purchased it 2 months ago from. So, hey baby, you're back. And you've done a really, really good job in the last 3,500 miles in 2 months. Yeah, daily driver duty. Well, for those of you who didn't grow up with GPS in your phones and instant access to absolutely every piece of knowledge that mankind has ever had, those of us who used to have to use maps and used to look at road signs, this is one of those kind of classic road trips, and we're trying to stay as true to this as possible. So it is 5:55. We are just north of Crawfordsville, Illinois. There is a Cracker Barrel, a Subway, a KFC, and a McDonald's here. None of which sound appealing. So we're looking for something to sit down and eat and relax for just a minute, get some food in us, but not just a highway choke and puke, which would be a truck stop for those of you who don't know. And I do have my handy dandy road atlas in my map, so we can look things up as we're driving down the road. And yeah, so far so good. It's a beautiful day here in central Indiana. Remember how just a second ago I said that we weren't running into any problems? Well, more road construction and brake lights ahead. down to 2-lane road, so hopefully it's just a matter of slow down, not a stopping. Blasting across the rest of Indiana. Not a lot to see out here. It's we appreciate all you farmers do, and all those people who eat vegetables and fruits and stuff. At least they do. Yeah, not a lot to see. Not a lot of towns. Not a lot of entertainment. There's a marsh over there. Not sure if you can see that. But yeah, there's not much to see. But you can make good speed across here. So we are hauling across western Indiana on our way into Illinois. We'll be there in about 6 minutes. So Ohio and Indiana down, Illinois next.
They have trees here. It's not all farmland. Alright, so it's trees separating the farmland. On a long road trip, need to stop for gas, stop at the pit stop, bar and grill. I like it. Perfect. Stop at a truck stop for lunch at dinner time. Joe, you want to do the saxophone part? Yep, that's right. We're gonna get some cheeseburgers at the truck stop. Friendly, honest note, simple menu, amazing food. The burgers were fantastic. None of us could believe how simple they were, but they were unbelievably tasty.
So we're either about to win $1,500 in Keno, get beat because I try karaoke, or
I'm gonna whip these ass. I can't say that. You can't play Fast and Furious, but they do have a NASCAR video game.
yeah, we're gonna race each other NASCAR. NASCAR simulator is gonna happen for real. And I'm gonna talk about European cars and get my butt beat.
And I'm gonna drink my Pepsi products because I'm under 21.
All right, so professional opinions. Worst used car driver. Not worst used car. What kind of a car do you see the worst used car driver?
Taurus, Ford Taurus, fact.
Mine is a Mercedes ML.
Mine is a 950 Volvo Wagon.
It's a 940.
940. You got two choices, 850 or 940.
Or a 940 or 960. ML drivers, literally, like from back in my old Advanced Auto Parts days and now, they don't care about their cars. They're the worst drivers. They bought a Mercedes purely because it has that logo on it.
Yeah.
But they do none of the actual Mercedes stuff that you need to do to maintain the thing.
I'm gonna say, honestly, that was a joke about the Volvo. I love the 940.
You better.
Chevy Equinox.
Always.
Yeah.
Chevy
More
Equinox.
Pepsi?
Yeah, please.
That's yeah.
Is it why?
Because they're always beat to hell, and they're never taken care of, and people just drive them.
Ford Taurus.
Really?
Great the perfect first car for some high school kid. I know. You loved it.
Well,
I mean,
loved
it
it.
started rusting, and I mean, what did
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm saying, like, I know 4 kids that have 4 different ones, and they all have the same problems, and all they do is change the oil. They don't care about the brakes. They don't care about any of the stuff that
They
you need
move
to
down
do.
the road,
Yeah.
drive it. Okay, fair enough.
Kind of like a Camry.
Camry, really?
Because
There's so many that you just.
specific clientele that drives them. And you know they all have that bump in the back bumper.
Yeah.
The dent.
The dent.
I think there's a
the Camry
Facebook
dent.
group for that.
I'm just checking distance then.
Yeah, but it's like,
And they all have a different color rear bumper.
yeah, and no one cares. People that drive it are like, when someone calls and it's like, wants to bring one in, it's trash. Like they've never washed it. They've changed the oil. They change the oil when it starts going.
Right.
You know, when
You
it
start
started.
getting
when
They
the
are the
rod's
kind of
not-
people that to come in for the $99 detail and not clean out any of their stuff.
Sure.
That's part of the detail. You take out everything that I have in it, and
Right.
it's like their whole closet, and it's just.
All right, I'll give you that. I mean, you do get, especially in the Camry world, you do get, and I do drive one of those on the daily at work.
Yeah, you do.
Which I
my
did not
Peter out
know.
vehicle.
Which I did not know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't deny, like, 1999 to 2004.
You can't
I
kill
mean, you have the cleanest black Camry because you actually do stuff to it.
and it's paid for. It's like free, literally. Like we bought it for $3,000. Somebody ran into it, did $3,000 worth of damage. We didn't fix it, so the car is literally free.
Yeah.
Don't put that in the video.
You just bleep all that out.
Right. No, but literally, like as I'm driving, so literally, like ML Mercedes is literally like I have
It's
like
the entry. Well, it's the same as a C-Class. It's like the entry
it's-
level to expensive. big
MLs
things.
were all bought by people who actually have no business.
no, they have no business buying it because and they don't want to put
SV,
540
yeah.
in it. They don't want to put 040 in it. They want to put 530 in it. They want to buy it off the crap rack. They would just pour it in and they just add it as they drive. They don't care. They don't understand, and they don't maintain. And they're also zero paying attention. There was literally a dude that I tried to get to my phone fast enough that almost got run the over by a semi truck as we were coming at 74. He was paying zero attention on his phone, and their truck, the semi truck, was literally this far from his back bumper on his Jake brake. Just and this dude was paying no attention. This,
Jake Brady.
That was impressive.
I was like in between laughing my ass off and grabbing my phone. This guy was about to get splattered on the interstate. And he's literally like, I got up alongside him and he's sitting there playing on his phone, driving down the road. Like,
An ML?
yep, silver ML Mercedes.
That's crazy.
It was wonderful. This truck literally is like,
Maybe you're onto something. man. Maybe you are onto something.
I promise
But
you, the
think
next
that
ML you see.
the idea of the cheap entry level to like big expensive car can go
I get
across
that.
the whole board. Because I mean, C-Class is pretty much the same thing, and I mean, every
that people-
C-Class on like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist
Yeah.
is owned by the worst person that should own a Mercedes.
And it's like the 17th owner.
yeah,
It's just, for me, it was the ML because they want that Mercedes truck.
yeah.
They want that SUV.
It's not the Geo,
Right.
It's not the GLE. It's
They got that Mercedes, they
Yeah.
got that ML. Literally every single time. I've never met somebody, world prove me wrong, I've never met somebody who has and treats an ML right now well. Jesus! I don't have any engine noises. I can't hear my tack. Move out of the way. Come through, pick up truck.
Oh, what just happened? I let off the gas.
So first pit stop at the pit stop is completed. We have gassed up.
Hey, Tim, you got a couple light bulbs out your third brake light, just letting you know. Car's a piece of shit.
We have gassed up, and both Tim and I are averaging about 22, 23 miles per gallon so far, which is interesting given his motor is slightly more than twice the size of mine. Joe is not doing quite so well on fuel. So we have about 400 miles of range left. As you can tell, a beautiful sunset is going to be upon us here in the heartland of America. So point it west and start rolling. There is not a ton to see out here as far as attractions. There's not really, there's no mountains to look at. There's no skyline to look at. There's no there's nothing out here. You're just in God's country, grain country, and farm country. This is where real people live that really work in the land and work with their hands. This is where those people live. Yeah, they don't get a lot of thanks for what they do most of the time, and they're hurting on certain things right now. But it is beautiful. I mean, there's not a lot to see, but the simplicity of this place is beautiful. I've been fortunate to be able to drive across a lot of this country, and this is a nice part of the country to drive through. It's simple, it's pretty flat, but it's beautiful. And look at the sunset. Okay. Going on a road trip. These are neat. Instead of cones, barrels. Oh, nope, now we're in barrels. Beautiful breadbasket restaurant. It smells like poop. Manure. Halfway through the first day of our drive on this epic road trip, everything's going well. Ethan and Tim are enjoying the top down in their 500 SL Mercedes, and zero problems to talk about. When you buy $2,500 cars, you never really know how that's going to go, but everything seemed to be behaving pretty well. Aside from the small complication of the Denali not wanting to work correctly and having to replace the master cylinder as well as a brake line, since then, zero problems to report. There's definitely something exciting and fun about driving cars across country with friends, and this has definitely been an interesting trip, an enjoyable trip so far. Well, as light is beginning to fade here in western Illinois, we are on a one-lane diversion of interstate, which is not helping our time. Not entirely sure why we're on one lane, because there's two perfectly good lanes going west over there. Whatever. So 55 miles an hour it is, and losing more time as we drive, but hey, we're having fun. We are continuing on down the road on 74 westbound, just entering into Peoria, Illinois. As you will note, I am lit from the top. This is going to be a little lesson for all of you youngsters out there. I am using what's called a map light. It's for reading maps. Like these. We are somewhere in there, on our way to somewhere else. But yeah, Peoria, Illinois. Nice looking city. We're not going to stop here. We're not going to do anything here, but the skyline's pretty. Of course, it's in the middle of nowhere, so I guess you do need to put a city eventually every now and then in the middle of nowhere, but really nice looking skyline. Knocked down one more state. We are now out of Illinois and we are in Iowa.
What's the Joe again?
It is 11:15 East Coast time. Since we are in Central time, it's 10:15. So we are right now gaining back time that we lost during the brake job repair issues when Joe's Yukon decided to misbehave. So we are gaining time back. At this point in time, we are going to just keep on driving until we get tired. Hey, look, I'm passing a Mercedes. See you. Anyway, continuing on. We're doing the speed limit on 80 west, and go this way a little while, and then we're gonna head north again. So, not much to show you. It's dark, and we're in farm country. There's nothing to see. about to pass Joe. So that means I'm going to be in first place. Ha-ha! Power wagon! There goes Joe. I'm in first. So it's 3:30 in the morning. And we're finally getting to bed.
Why are you whistling?
We've made it to Fort Dodge. And we're sleeping in a very, very rustic location. We found a campsite where there's no civilization.
We don't want to.
It's just Joe and I. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that building behind us, that's fake. It's just a wall.
Yeah, it's a painting.
We're trying not to awake the coyotes.
Yeah, and bears.
And the bears.
There's bears.
There's bears everywhere in Iowa.
So we're bedding down for the night. Joe's got his Yukon Denali, and he's got a full apartment in the back of it. Anyway, so yeah, it's bedtime.
Like 4 o'clock in the morning, and
Yeah, time for bed. We've been driving for 14 hours.
yeah, we're
Time for sleep.
So anyway, we're gonna
First
sleep
night.
in our cars. So
Done.
Okay. All right. See you tomorrow.
See you in the morning. It is 7:22 in the morning local time. We are still at our hotel. I am still in the back of my Volvo, enjoying a nice sleep in. Not really sleep in, but sleep in. Should start getting up here in about the next 30 minutes or so. You will notice there is water on the glass, which is not something we had planned for. It was not supposed to rain up here, but apparently Iowa does what Iowa wants. So we'll have to figure that out. Probably no top down for Tim and Ethan this morning. But it did make the weather a little cooler, which is nice. So sleep in a little bit more, and then time to get up and get on the road. One of the legitimate downsides to camping, or in this case, whatever this is when the world decides it's time to wake up and turns on the lights, you don't have an option. So as it starts to get bright outside, you're gonna wake up.